Call of Duty is delaying Season 3 for Black Ops 6 and Warzone. We have some new information about Modern Warfare 4 in 2026. And if you could believe it, Activision is using AI to generate ads for fake games that don't even exist. Yeah, you guys might want to grab your popcorn for this one because we've got some insane news to cover for Call of Duty today. So if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new. Let's get into it. It all starts with this tweet from Call of Duty saying, Season 3 is a big moment for Call of Duty Warzone and Black Ops 6. And we're taking the time to deliver a great experience starting on April 3rd. More to come following Call of Duty Warzone's 5th anniversary next week. Okay, so right off the bat, if we're trying to dissect this and break this down, there's a couple of things that are really interesting about this tweet specifically from Call of Duty. The first is that there's no specific mention of there being a delay. They're just saying that the experience is starting on April 3rd, but I'm sure as we all know, Season 2 for Black Ops 6 and Warzone is about to end very soon. Now, I'm pretty sure they extended the Season 2 Battle Pass, so you will have some extra time to be able to finish that before Season 3 drops, but it's been delayed by about 2 weeks. And it's just kind of interesting that in this tweet itself, there's no mention of a delay. They're just saying that it's starting April 3rd, but we all know that it's getting pushed back. But what also makes this even weirder is the fact that there's no mention of why the delay is even happening. It's just saying we're taking the time to deliver a great experience. I thought that's what they were already doing. So understandably, there's tons of people now asking, why is the season being delayed? So much like this delay for Season 3, I took some extra time to sit down and really gather my thoughts and try to figure out why this is even happening in the first place. Let's start with the obvious reasons as to why they would delay a season. At face value, a lot of us could just assume that they're doing this to fix bugs in the game and polish out the content, and possibly just give us even more content when the season releases. But the question is, do we even believe that? At this point in time, we know that seasonal content is made well in advance in the development cycle, and Verdansk should essentially just be a carbon copy of what it was in 2019. Now, in fairness, there are still a lot of existing bugs within Bug Ops 6's multiplayer and Warzone. I'm not too sure about zombies, there might be some there, but even though these seem like really obvious reasons to delay a season or even possibly delay releasing a game, there's no mention in this post about that being the reason why they're delaying the season. It just says, we're taking the time to deliver a great experience. And that's the problem with making statements this vague. When people go back to reference this, they're not going to say that Season 3 and Verdansk were delayed to be able to, polish the game, fix bugs, and add even more content. They're only doing this to deliver a great experience. So if they do not deliver on that, then people are going to be even more disappointed. It's a real double-edged sword by being so vague. By doing this, they don't have to be fully transparent about why they're delaying this content in the first place. But like I just said, if they do not deliver a great experience by taking the extra time to do this, then we are going to end up being even more disappointed because we wanted to play this content sooner and they deliberately chose to delay it. And this is not Call of Duty's first rodeo when it comes to putting out vague statements trying to be transparent, but ultimately it kind of falls flat. If you go to the Steam page for Black Ops 6, as I've mentioned previously, we now have an AI generated content disclosure that says our team uses generative AI tools to help develop some in-game assets. They are not specifically saying what they're using AI for, which again is very frustrating because they're not explicitly saying what they use it for, which means that people can speculate very wildly and assume that almost every part of the game is made using AI. And at the end of the day, the only people who really know exactly what was made with AI and what wasn't are the people who are actually making the game, and they can communicate this information to us. However, they decided to take the most vague route possible in an effort to try to disclose things and to try to be transparent, but it just doesn't really work. And it's stuff like this that just makes it harder and harder to trust the company that's making the game, which is why I also wanted to discuss the less obvious reasons as to why they could be delaying Season 3 and Verdansk. Now, I'm sure this first reason probably applies more to Warzone and Verdansk than it does to Black Ops 6's multiplayer, although I'm sure it would benefit as well, but maybe, just maybe, they want Ricochet anti-cheats to finally work, especially for the day one launch of Verdansk, so that way people don't lose faith and then quit the game immediately. Now, even though I don't personally play a ton of Warzone, I have seen dozens and dozens of clips of people cheating and going crazy in Warzone. You got people taking the ray gun and other zombies wonder weapons into Warzone and completely ruining the experience, and it has just been an absolute disaster for Warzone ever since Black Ops 6 came out. And while I don't necessarily think that Season 3 is a make it or break it moment for Black Ops 6's multiplayer and zombies, I really do feel like it's a make it or break it moment for the Warzone community. If this does not go well, this really could be a breaking point for them. And from the perspective of an outsider looking in, it really does seem like the anti-cheat needs to be fully working day one and beyond once Verdansk gets added to the game, because if it's not, a lot of people are going to quit, and the cheating problem is going to continue to run rampant and just ruin the experience. Now, another one of my less obvious guesses that could potentially be true as well, but we just don't really know, is that the delay could be happening because they might have some kind of insider information on a game that could be releasing around the time of the original release date for Season 3 in Verdansk, and maybe they want more time to market and hype up Verdansk so it has a better chance at success. Now, initially when I was coming up with this theory, I thought that it could have been because of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, but we also just found out today that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 is official. It's releasing July 11th, and Deluxe Edition's early access is going to be July 8th. So yeah, even though the announcement was today, I don't think it's necessarily because of this, but maybe it it could be because a different game could be coming out soon. That is just my speculation. That's my best guess, and it doesn't say anywhere in the tweet that that's the reason why they're doing it, but it would not be the first time that a game has been delayed because there's other competition coming. I mean, as a prime example, Battlefield is waiting to release their next game until Rockstar announces more about GTA 6. I know that I cannot wait until GTA 6 comes out, and I feel like this is a big reason why a lot of different gaming companies are struggling to figure out when they're going to market and release their games, because they're waiting for Rockstar to just do something or say something. But speaking of having insider information, I actually know someone who works at Activision, and I know the real reason why they've delayed Season 3 in Verdansk. I have been personally told that they need more time for the AI to generate maps, bundles, and everything else in the game. Okay, but seriously, I need to find this one tweet. Okay, so it took a little bit of time to find this, but it was this tweet from Charlie Intel, and this person's reply, Aiden right here, said, I just made the whole connection. It says, is Midjourney V7 out? And it says, Midjourney V7 was initially set to launch earlier, but has been delayed by about a week due to last minute issues. The new expected release window is March 2025. Now, I'm not overly familiar with all these different AI programs, but it looks like Midjourney is one of those where you could put in a prompt and just start creating AI images like you can see right here. Oh my God, I think I just found a future operator skin. I mean, look at some of these, dude. They could have clearly been used to generate skins for Call of Duty. It's not that far off. Oh, I've got to log in to see more. Yeah, I'm good. Okay, so I Googled what Midjourney V7 is, and the AI overview is going to tell me what the AI program is going to do. It's an upcoming version of the AI image generator that will include improved image quality, video generation, and more. It's going to have omni-reference, so it's going to integrate images like logos and characters into new outputs. It can also do video generation, so it's going to explore how to create videos using AI, and the list just goes on and on and on. Okay, but maybe this is where things kind of slipped through the cracks, because it says for the timeline, it was originally planned to release before summer, but now it's actually going to be expected in late February or March, so maybe it wasn't necessarily delayed, and maybe it's actually releasing sooner. I don't know. I am kind of joking and just memeing about AI being the reason why the season's getting delayed. However, we also have this tweet from Charlie Intel saying that Activision has apparently announced a Guitar Hero mobile game via ads on Instagram, and the cover art is reportedly AI generated. Activision is saying, play your way, Guitar Hero goes mobile, and we have a Guitar Hero mobile game that doesn't actually exist. That's right, guys, this image you're seeing right here is for a game that is not even real. They used AI to generate a fake game so that way they can collect data and get information about what people think about this game that isn't even real. And Charlie Intel confirms this by saying, update, this game is not real. It's rather a fake artwork to ask people their thoughts on if you would play this game if it was real. This has got to be the most interesting case of R&D I've ever seen in my life. Like, they're just straight up using AI to generate fake images of games that aren't even real to see if we would even be interested in playing and buying a game like this in the first place. Now, here's the catch though. Guitar Hero Mobile is one thing, but what if I told you that they're also doing this for Call of Duty? We also got this banger tweet from Charlie Intel saying Activision is running ads on their official Facebook and Instagram asking for people's thoughts on Call of Duty Sniper and Call of Duty Zombies Defender mobile games, which have AI generated art. The download links take you to a survey for thoughts on the games, which is insanity. Like, I don't even know how that's necessarily allowed. They're saying it's a download link for the game, but it actually just takes you to a survey where they're gonna ask you what you think about these games that aren't even real. That's madness.
This is the first one, guys. It's Call of Duty Sniper, my favorite game.
How in the f*** are you going to use AI to generate an image of a fake game that isn't real and then ask us what we think about it? Even though I wasn't served this ad, I'll tell you what I think about this game. I think nothing of it. It's not real. It's made by AI, and you should not go through with this, because guess what, guys? If they can use AI to generate an image of a game that isn't real, they can use AI to make the entire game. Honestly, it is kind of interesting that they were able to make this look like it could be a Call of Duty game, but the more that you stare at the image, the more trash it becomes. I mean, look at this character that's in the sniper scope. How come the scope looks like a missile that's about to hit this guy in the face instead of a regular sniper scope? There's also just this random blue tint here for absolutely no reason. Like, why is that there? And all of this debris and rubble on the ground is just absolute nonsense. Like, you can't really make heads or tails of what's going on here. Like, is this a destroyed building? I can't really tell. There's not really a lot of remnants. It's just dirt and a couple pieces of wood. The longer I stare at this image, the more heated I'm getting, but we should take a look at the other one too. We also have this disgusting trash called Call of Duty Zombie Defender, where it's got that terrible, like, teal and orange effects just kind of plastered all over the image. We got a couple of goofy looking characters. I mean, I don't even know. What is this? The art style of these characters that were AI generated don't look like they fit into the Call of Duty universe. It's just nonsense. Except for maybe this guy right here who's got a gas mask on that doesn't fully cover his face, which is just kind of weird. But I think the most depressing part of this image is the actual zombies themselves. This doesn't look anything like a Call of Duty zombie. It just looks like something that an AI would just poop out. So yeah, once again, even though I'm not being served this ad, I will share my feedback on this. This is trash. Do not make this a game. It's horrible. Because just like Call of Duty Sniper, they're trying to see if there's enough interest in these games to the point where people would either buy them or download them for free and then spend money on microtransactions for games that could be entirely generated by AI. Realistically, for a game that looks this terrible, they probably would only need a couple of employees, a couple of people to actually design and generate something this terrible, and it has the potential to make them millions, if not tens of millions of dollars. And this is exactly why having AI-generated content disclosures is so important. We would want to know as potential consumers if this game was made partially with AI or if the entire game was AI generated, because if the entire game was AI generated, I'm not touching this. I'm not playing this garbage. But what I find even more offensive than these fake AI generated games like Call of Duty Sniper and Call of Duty Zombie Defender is that they did this for the sake of collecting feedback on games that aren't even real. Dude, we have Black Ops 6 right now and Warzone right now. There's an entire community of passionate players that are constantly giving you feedback on how to make the games better. Why not actually talk to us and talk to those people and make those games better instead of just trying to see how you can use AI to generate fake games so you can make more money? It is stuff like this that is completely killing people's hope for the future of Call of Duty, and I really hope they do not go down this route even further. I really do feel strongly that they're not going to be using AI as a tool to assist the development of the games, which could be okay if done tastefully. I really do think that they're going to be going the greediest possible route and just use AI to make the entire game. Because both of these games, Call of Duty Sniper and Call of Duty Zombie Defender, this is not Call of Duty. This is not what the franchise is all about. However, all hope is not lost quite yet because we do have more information about Modern Warfare 4 for 2026. The Ghost of Hope had put out this tweet saying exclusive details for Modern Warfare 4 2026. No old gen support, which would mean that it's no longer going to support the PS4 and Xbox One. It's going to have a traditional user interface like the older games and even more traditional the Black Ops 6's. The engine would be overhauled to address Modern Warfare 2's problems like visual clutter. It's being developed on dev kits for the next generation of Xbox. And this next part is really important. He's saying that there would be no Warzone 3 if Verdansk fails to retain the current and returning players. And as I was looking through the replies, Faded here saying no Warzone sounds too good to be true, and Ghost of Hope is saying, I mean, it's hanging in the balance of whether Verdansk succeeds or not. I don't know why people think that they can put so much resources into a mode that would be around for 6 years by then and did not retain players consistently enough, which is very true. If Warzone ends up flopping really hard, then they could potentially just finally give it the axe and do something different. And out of everything being said here, I feel like this one is absolutely massive. Like, this could really be the reason why Season 3 and Verdansk are being delayed. They might feel very strongly that if this does not work out and that it doesn't perform well, that this really could be the end of Warzone and that they're going to have to shift gears and do something different for the free-to-play Battle Royale scene for Call of Duty, which I personally think would be a good move. I've been saying for quite a while now that I think it makes more sense for the current version of Warzone to just die. It had a good run in 2019, but ever since then, it's been on nothing but a decline. The experience has just gotten worse. It's impacting the mainline Call of Duty games as well. And if they would just unlock that part of their brain that would tell them, hey, it makes more sense to separate the experiences. Let Raven fully focus on a dedicated battle royale that's separate from all the other games, and then just let the mainline Call of Duty games be what they're supposed to be. That would be better for both experiences. And what's really kind of crazy about this statement is that I have been intentionally waiting to grind for Abyss camo in Warzone. I was going to do it all on Verdansk, but if this is really true, if there's a potential that there's not going to be a Warzone 3 if Verdansk fails, then I don't really know if I'm going to see myself consistently grinding Verdansk and going for Abyss camo at all. I think I might just skip it. I would prefer to see all of this fail and die so that way something better can be born from all of this. But yeah, aside from that, it is pretty interesting to see that Modern Warfare 4 is being developed on dev kits for a new Xbox, so a new generation of consoles, and there's not going to be old gen support, which means that the game is only going to be released on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X, as well as whatever new console Xbox is making. I don't necessarily know if Sony's going to have a PS6 ready by the time that Modern Warfare 4 comes out, out, so we'll just have to wait and see how that turns out. But as far as it goes for changes to the UI and the engine, we have no idea what that's going to be looking like. I feel like it's way too early to try to make any calls there, but it is interesting to see that they want to try to go back to a traditional UI and get rid of visual clutter and just make things easier to look at. I mean, I feel like Modern Warfare 2, when it came out, that was like the game where people were making tutorials on how to navigate menus. Like, we really need to not have an absolute disaster of a Hulu menu when we're trying to play Modern Warfare 4 in 2026. I mean, hey man, maybe in 2026 the AI will be so advanced that it can design the perfect menu. I don't know, but that's basically going to do it for all of the Call of Duty news that we have today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely let me know in the comments what you guys think about Season 3 and Verdansk being delayed, as well as the information about Modern Warfare 4 and Activision's continued use of AI in their games. And if you guys did enjoy this video and you want to see some more stuff like this, make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new. We'll see you guys later.
Outcome. Train good.